About 8 months ago, I did a quick unboxing video of my new Energy Flex 1500 power station and the accompanying batteries and solar panels, actually plus a few other goodies. Now, if you happen to miss that initial video, you can check in the description below to get a complete rundown of that system. Now, in today's video, though, I want to give you an update on how the Flex 1500 has performed now that I've had some time to get out there, out in the field, and really get some time under my belt with this thing. Now, I'm going to give you a hint about its performance thus far. You know, as a movie guy, think Matrix, think Neo, when Morpheus leaps from one building to another. Whoa. So it's been impressive to say the least. Let's stop actually fooling around and let's get to why that is the case. Actually, before we dive into all the goodies, let me give you a little context of where I've been using this system. You see, I have my favorite camping spots here in Southern California, from Big Bear to Anza-Borrega and many places in between. I've also used the Energy system in Flagstaff at Overland West, in the desert near my parents' place in Arizona, from sea level to high altitudes, blazing hot weather to cold and rainy. The Energy Flex 1500 has absolutely crushed it in all scenarios. Now, I have the Flex 1500 AC power station, which is not weatherproof, so if there is a threat of rain or snow or crappy weather, I keep it nice and cozy on my tailgate or tire table, which is typically sheltered underneath the awning on my Turtleback Expedition trailer. Or actually, if I'm ground tenting, then I just bring it inside. But if you need a bulletproof power station, you can invest in the Energy Flex tactical system, which is a purpose-built for extreme environmental conditions and has been thoroughly tested by the U.S. military. Now, the tactical version of this power station has an IP52 rating and is weather resistant. It even has integrated heater that enables normal use at temperatures down to minus 22 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah, that's stinking cold. So for all of you folks out there with harsh winters, that is the system worth looking at. You know, it's funny because I have expressed this thing as being built like a tank, and the tactical version is actually built even more tank-ish, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
So these guys, man, they really crushed it out of the park with the frame, structural side. I mean, this thing it's solid. Now, one of the best things about the Flex 1500 is that it really offers an incredible variety of power for your gadgets. Now, as you can see on screen, there are 6 110 120 volt AC outlets. You have 2 15 amp cigarette lighters up on the top here, and over on the left-hand side, you have 2 60 watt USB-C ports. Right to the right of that, you have 2 USB-A ports. And then right to the right of that is 2 5.5 millimeter by 2.5 millimeter DC outputs. Now, I get the most out of the AC outlets as I use the Energy Flex 1500 to power components like my Starlink, coffee pot, the planter diesel heater, at least during the summer months, Zero Breeze AC, and my banging stereo system so I can jam out to Kenny G greatest hits to kickstart my day.
You're really weird.
Now, of course, I use the Flex 1500 to charge my phone, laptop, camera batteries, and all that stuff. And these things are always with me with my adventures so I can get my work done remotely. And as I mentioned earlier, I do a bit of camping in desert environments, so I don't like to be a sweaty mess when I'm trying to go to sleep. Now, I do bring along my Zero Breeze Mark II portable air conditioner to keep my tent at a comfortable temperature. Now, the Zero Breeze, it needs a power source. Now, granted, I have 2 batteries with this thing, but if you want to run it throughout the night, you need something standing behind it. And the Flex 1500 provides that power reliably, effectively, and of course, quietly. Now, on a side note, I want to give you a big thumbs up and a big old thanks for tuning in today. Your support for this channel is greatly appreciated. So with that said, as you're watching this video or after the video, if you have any questions about this unit or questions in general, by all means, leave a comment down below and I would be happy to do what I can to get that answer for you. Now, shifting gears, and after 8 months, what stands out as some of the best features about the Flex 1500 system? Now, it's quiet. It's with virtually silent operation, with the exception if it's hot, the fans will spool up for a few minutes and then it'll go off. But you can get the power, or you can power your devices rather, without the noise of a generator going on. Now, this thing is also expandable. Now, as you can see here, I have 3 1,000 watt batteries with my Flex 1500. Now, this is going to give me 3,000 watts of power when I need it. But the system can accommodate up to, believe it or not, 96 of these things. So you can expand it as you need and use it for all the manner of situations. And the cool thing about it is if I'm going out for a quick overnight, guys, no need to carry all these additional batteries. I'll just bring one out with me, or I'll bring two out, depending upon what my needs are for that day. Now, the system is plug and play ready as well, so simply stack the batteries, as I've done here. As long as the battery voltages are a range of one another, they will automatically connect. Now, the batteries will automatically turn on and equalize, which is what you're seeing happening right as we speak right now. And they're solar as well. I have 4 of their 100 watt accent solar panels that allow me to keep this bugger topped off and, as you'd expect it, cleanly and quietly. Again, no generator that needed to charge this thing. And the solar panels are 22 pounds each and are 25.59 by 19.88 by 2.36 inches when it's folded up, which makes them extremely portable, and more importantly, they don't take up a lot of precious cargo space in the truck. Now, of course, earlier I brought up all these different ports here, so of course, you can power so many things here, different devices with this. The flexibility is especially helpful when you're off-grid and you don't have other means of getting power. And it goes to say, there are so many uses with this. This isn't just a power system for camping or overlanding. It really makes a great option for a backup power at your home when the power goes out. And let's look at this right here. It's easily portable. Now at 29 pounds, 14 by 8 by 8.9, the Flex 1500 power station, let's be real here. It isn't light as a feather, but it still is easy to maneuver from the bed to the truck to my tailgate or tire table. Each Flex 1500 battery, weighs 16 pounds, so it's not terribly cumbersome to move around either. Now you can charge the Flex 1500 using multiple sources. Earlier I mentioned solar panels. You have solar panels, shore power, and of course you can charge it off of your car's battery. And you can even use these sources all at the same time, which will drastically cut down the charging time. Now, if you get the optional Flex MPPT supercharger, you can charge the power station in about an hour and a half. That is blazing fast. Now, the Flex 1500 power station and its components are extremely, as I mentioned earlier, these things are really well made. The power station is made of aluminum to enhance durability. All right, now let's talk about the cons. And really, friends, there are only 2. I'm going to spin this around a little bit right here. Okay. So, and this is one of the reasons why I waited 8 months versus 6 months of doing a review, because I wanted to spend more time with it and hoping that I could find something that I didn't like, so that this portion of the review would be a little bit more interesting. But guys, I only have 2 things about this thing. The cons with this are these latches can be, well, have a mind of their own. And when you're locking these things up or taking them off, you really want to make sure they're slid one way or another. And frankly speaking, I always lift it up from the bottom just to be safe regardless. And the other con with this, it's kind of like a soft con. The solar panels that I mentioned earlier, while they are relatively small, well, there are smaller and lighter options out there. And so I'm going to put that as a half-ass con. But friends, that's all I have. I mean, these guys really spent time, you can tell, with the research and developing and putting their best foot forward with this thing. It's a home run. So I think it's clear from the number of pros and cons that the system is a huge home run. Is it perfect? No. No gear is. Now, when you're off-grid, you want a power system that is reliable, easy to use, and flexible, and that's exactly what the Flex 1500 system does. In my opinion, I think the system is very capable of changing the way people camp because of the flexibility, the scalability, and just how this thing is built. Now I'm going to put all sorts of links down below in the description, so if you want to check this thing out more or some of the other products relating to this, those links will be down there. I have to say, all this talk about off-grid power and camping has me chomping at the bits to get out of my office or my studio here and go enjoy some fresh air. So, hey, I will see you in the next clip.